Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. I'm Joanna and I'm glad you're here. I love to DIY on a budget, and if you like to sew, then catch me on Saturdays. Now, let's get crafty. Okay, so I have this Dollar Tree placemat that I found. They've got green ones, they have a different red one, but I've got two of these. I'm only going to use one. I'm going to take these nasty tags off, okay? I'm going to take the other tag off too, that one right there. And then I have green fabric right here that matches my green stripes, okay? Alright, so I have the green thread to match. Make sure you match your threads unless you want them contrasting. That's up to you. Now I have this pattern. Make sure you print it in the actual size or at 100%. Okay, and I'll have this in my Facebook group, okay, in the files. You'll have to look for it in the files section. It'll be a PDF format, very easy to print and deal with, okay? So I'm just going to lay my pattern after I cut it out on my fabric, all right? And I'm going to pin it down. Then, now make sure you pin it good, because you don't want this, you know, this project does not have to be perfect by any means, because you know them Dollar Tree placemats ain't perfect by no means. So, yeah. So I'm going to just pin this down. Look at my cute little pins I got at Hobby Lobby. I'm teaching a sewing class to my youth girls at my church, and I bought them pins, and they're so cute. They got birds, they got tulips, and then these little bobbins. I thought they were adorable, so I just changed my pins out. And they are very, very good quality pins, I'll tell you. They got good reviews. So this is how I'm cutting it out, okay? This is the easiest way to cut it out rather than trying to turn your scissors, just cut point to point. Or cut, dip to dip, dip to dip. Anyway, yeah, sorry. Y'all know how I am. I'm crazy. That's what I am, crazy. So, yeah, I don't know why I'm flicking my... Oh, I didn't get it even at the bottom, and it was making me nervous. So I'm just going to take and cut that off straighter. Yeah. So before you do this, okay, this is going to be 3D. So I'm going to cut out my trunks, okay? I'm going to cut 3 of those. And this is just a scrap piece of brown fabric. You can use whatever. You can use whatever fabrics you want here, okay? I just thought these look better and they match better because of the print on the placemat. But anyway, I'm going to pin these down and I'm going to cut them out. I'm going to cut out 3 of them. I folded it to get 2 at one time. But, what was I going to tell you? Oh, before you do this, before you put anything on here, take another piece of fabric that you were going to use for the backing. I used red, and cut it out right here, okay? Especially if you only have one placemat. But lay your fabric or lay your placemat on your fabric and cut your backing out, all right? Do that first. You'll see me do it later, but do it right now before you put these trees down. So right here, I am just putting my trees down here, and I'm putting my trunks on. And I'm trying to get this all straight, okay? Because you don't want no pillow that ain't straight, all right? We're making a pillow. Yes, we are. 3D pillow. Yes, we are. Cute. Yes, we are. I'm going to show you options to decorate this. Yes, I am. I'm going to shove my trunk up there just a little bit, okay? I want it under the tree, just a hair, all right? And then I'm going to tell you directions wrong in just a second. Or show you directions wrong, but I'll tell you right, okay? So, I'm going to pin my trunks down, okay? Now I have to move my pins to sew it because it won't work. If you're not a sewer, you can glue all this down, or you can use, I'm going to sew the top, not the bottom. Sew the top, not the bottom, okay? Sew the top, not the bottom. Leave the bottom open. You can use Wonder Under, or you can use Heat and Bond to put these on, okay? You don't have to sew these at all. But once I get those tree trunks, sewed down, then I'm going to line my green trees up, and I am going to pin them down. These are a little shifty, so I should have used more pins, but I didn't. I was trying to get by with less pins, and it shifted on me, but it's okay. We don't have to do everything perfect, do we? I try to, but I'm not perfect, y'all. I'm just saying. Hate to hurt your feelings, but I'm not. So here we are at the sewing machine, and now you're way up in the air, but I'm trying to just use a tripod now and carry it from room to room because it's easier to move my camera around. But don't forget the back stitch. Now get up to your tip of your tree there. Don't go all the way. I run my machine to where I can, pivot and turn it and go right down the other side. Now you can see where this is kind of bubbling up just a hair, and I take my finger and push it under there. So I'm going down to that one, pivot, and if it's not right, then I'll just scoot it. I scooted it a little bit. And then I'm just going to go down again, and I'm going to go to that point, and then I am going to pivot and do that. Now I'm not going to sew the bottom. I'm going to leave the bottom open. Okay? Want to leave the bottom of your trees open. So you got the bottom of your trunk open, and you got the bottom of your tree open. Okay? So, and I'm just using the edge of my presser foot, and my needle is on the edge over to the left, to the right. My needle's to the right. I don't know my right and left. You can ask my husband. I have to write in the air half the time. So now that I got that on there and I'm not in frame, I'm going to clip. I know that's dark. I'm sorry, my lighting stinks. I'm just going to clip along that edge, okay? And just make little snips there. Maybe you can see. Little snippies. Y'all still can't see. I'm so dumb. I'm sorry. I need to get a light. I need to get a tripod with a light. That's what I need to do. I need to get a tripod with a light, and that'll help. But anyway, yeah, see the phrase? Yeah, that's what you're doing. Do it on your trunks too. Oh, you can really see them now. So now I'm not moving. I'm not going over to the table. So I'm going to take a little stuffing, use an eraser of a pencil, and this will help. I always have an unsharpened pencil in here to use for stuffing little pieces, okay? It'll catch it and shove it right up in them little places. Okay, so I'm going to take and I'm going to stuff all my trees. Now, you don't want to stuff these so stuffed that you can't smush this down right here and sew it, okay? So you judge how much stuffing you put in your stuff. That's a lot of stuff, ain't it? So I'm just going to push it down and sew right across there. Now, you might have to give it a tug, lift your presser foot, adjust, and keep tugging. And I have a wrinkle. I'm going to push it under there and backstitch. Don't forget to backstitch, okay? I'm glad these don't have to be perfect. They come out the cutest little things. But anyway, clip your ugly strings off there. And then I almost missed right there. If you do miss, just go back over it. It's no big deal. This is easy to fix. Just go back over it. It doesn't even matter. Okay? So now I'm going to stuff my trunks. You do not need much to stuff your trunks, but you're really going to need a pencil to shove that up in there. Just twist and push. Twist and push. And it goes right up in there. Goes right up in there. Twist, push, twist, push. Yeah, there you go. See how fast I'm going? I wish I could move that fast in real life. I changed my thread to brown. I was going to say I changed my brown to thread. And I am going to push down and go sew, backstitch, okay? Make sure you backstitch or your stitches will come out. We don't want our stitches to come out, do we? That one was coming out because that's the one I messed up on. So I had to go down the side and then backstitch, sew. So when I get my trunks on, that sounds so funny. Sounds like I'm going swimming, gonna put my trunks on. I had to iron this because it was really wrinkled, okay? This is where I told you, thank goodness I had another placemat, because lay your fabric down before you even put anything on it. Because once you get your 3D effects on there, you're not going to be able to cut a piece out straight, okay? So do this first. And I'm just laying the placemat down, and then I'm taking my scissors and cut it out. If you can use your rotary cutter, go ahead, but I was afraid I was going to cut my placemat. So I didn't want to use a rotary cutter. But besides that, this is just as fast for me anyway, because it's what I'm used to. And these are stinking good scissors, just saying. That side was ugly. I didn't like it. That's why I'm using red anyways. You can use green or whatever colors you want to. Now, you can see that placemat did not match this placemat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to match my fabric to the edge of the fabric on the placemat, okay? I'm not lining my placemat up. I'm lining the fabrics up. And I'm stretching and pulling as I go. So I'm going to line that one up too. But make sure you leave an edge so you can turn your pillow, okay? You'll want to just leave an edge to turn your pillow. Because if you don't leave an edge, then you'll be ripping out stitches. And that's not fun and nobody wants to do that. So I'm just going to pin around my pillow. Okay? And I wish I was doing this faster. I don't know. I don't want to cut it out because as soon as I do, yeah, sewing around, leaving this open, okay? And I'm twiddling my fingers. I sewed around it. Now I'm using a rotary cutter and I'm just trimming off my edges. Then when I get my edges trimmed, I am going to use my rotary cutter because it's just in my hand and I'm going to cut my corners off, okay? Cutting corners. Sometimes you don't like to cut corners. But in this case, you do like to cut corners. Now I'm just going to flip it inside out. And I'm sorry, I'm out of frame. I forgot when I got here to raise my camera back up. Okay. So I was over too far where I normally stand and my camera wasn't up. So I'm going to take my pokey tool, use whatever you got, and poke your corners out nice and pretty right there. Okay. And once you get those poked out, then I'm going to push this under and I'm going to iron it. And that way that's flat right there. So here I am. I'm using this is my wool mat. I covered it. And I'm just going to pull my fabrics in. And then I'm going to take a hot iron and iron that flat. This will help it stay in when you go to sew it later to close up your pillow. Okay, now I have a toothbrush. And where I cut those little slits in there, I'm going to run this toothbrush. I can't find my other brush, so I had to go grab my toothbrush for my... I use a toothbrush in my laundry. So this is my laundry toothbrush. I forgot to snip the bottom of my trees. So I'm snipping my trees off, and then I'm going to take that toothbrush, and I'm going to grunge, or I don't know, what do you do? I'm going to go across it, and I'm doing this hard. Now, I'm not being easy. And I'm going to do it sideways. And, yeah, you see what I'm doing. I'm going to do it on the trunks, too, but the trunks don't do it very much. But I'm going to try. Okay, warning. This makes an absolute mess. But if you use one of these little, I don't know, I got this at the Dollar Tree. They have some smaller, but I got go big or go home. So I got a big one. And this is silicone. And it just, look at this. It just cleans up. These also clean your mat. If you're cutting something fuzzy and you get that fuzz down in your mat when you're using a rotary cutter, it'll take it off very easily. So once I get that, I'm going to get my lint roller. And I am going to just get the rest of the nasty off of here, okay? So that's what I'm doing. And then I'm clipping any strings. So I'm just cleaning this up. Oh, make sure you clean up the back too, because that stuff gets everywhere, I'm telling you. But it's pretty. I love the look of it. I just love it. Look at those trees. I love it. So now I am going to grab my stuffing and I am going to stuff my pillow. And I always stuff my corners first. I don't know why. I think in my brain that I'll never get back to the corner and then I'll have a saggy corner. So I always stuff my corners first. That's just my way of thinking. I was trying to show you there's a knot in that. So once I got it stuffed to, pretty good, I'm going to hand sew this. And if y'all know me, you know I hate hand sewing, but sometimes it's just got to be done. Now you can smush this down and sew it in your sewing machine, but then you would have a flat spot on your pillow, and I don't like how that looks. So I'm just going to go in one side, okay, and then back through the other side. Go through the other side, and then back through the other side. Now you can easily do a slip stitch too, But I just like the look of this stitch because it hides the stitches a little better in my opinion. So I'm just going to go back and forth and close this hole up. Now when I got almost done, I saw it was saggy in the middle. So I'm just going to add a little more stuffing and fill it out till it makes me happy. And Lord, I jiggled my whole table and almost knocked my sloth over. I need to fix that table. I need to sturdy it just a little bit more. But anyways, I'm just going to put stuffing in here until it makes me happy and then finish sewing what am I saying? Closed. Sew it closed. I'm going to finish sewing it closed. Good grief. Now when I get to the end, I'm just going to slip it under the thread that was already sewn in there. And then I'm going to tie it in a knot. And I'm going to do this 2 or 3 times just to get a knot in it. Now let me show you how you can embellish this if you choose to. You can hot glue these on or you can sew them on. Now if you want to use buttons, if you don't want to hot glue, you can certainly sew these on before you put your pillow together. Okay, so before you put your backing on it and stuff it and all that, you can sew your buttons on. You can do it by hand or sewing machine, but that's just one way to decorate it. But ain't it cute? All with a Dollar Tree placemat. Look at that. I love it. It's so cute. So these would be cute laying on your couch. Look at the frayed edge. That just makes it look more like a tree, in my opinion. So here it is plain, which is the way I like it, because I'm plain Jane. And then I'll show you what it looks like with stuff on it. And I do want to tell you thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for being here. I love my subscribers. Y'all mean the world to me. I want to say thank you to Miss Lisa for the super thanks for my birthday. And I want to thank Ann for buying me a coffee. Y'all are the sweetest. Until next time, you are a blessing. Goodbye.